that after the general election he will need Sinn Féin in order to retain power.
That's nonsense.
He knows the figures.
That's nonsense. You know that.
I didn't interrupt you now, Dermot.
Sorry, Pat. Sorry, Pat.
Seeing that you did, Dermot, let me quote yourself.
It's panic politics.
Minister for Foreign Affairs Dermot Ahern said, and I quote, "If circumstances change, our view in relation to Sinn Féin going into government will change. I believe it's only a matter of time before Sinn Féin will be in government in the near future."
He was corrected by Bertie Ahern, though.
He was, of course, corrected, but now Bertie has come around to his position.
I wasn't corrected. I wasn't corrected.
That's coalition. This is different.
Hold on a second.
No.
Can I quote you, Pat? Would you let me quote you?
You can,
Pat, on Red FM on the 9th of the 6th, 04, as per the Examiner, quoted in the Examiner on the day later, the 10th of the 6th, 04, Pat Rabbitte said he would rule nothing out in relation to coalition with Sinn Féin.
I never even heard of the quote you're talking about.
I can give it to you chapter and verse. Red FM. You said it on Red FM.
I never made any such. And I don't know.
You did.
Where's Red FM? I don't know what you're talking about. Chairman, the point is that what the Taoiseach is seeking to conceal when he says that it's reasonable for him to accept Sinn Féin deputies voting for him for Taoiseach, the other side of that coin is that he will be dependent
but he can't
on Sinn Féin
that.
deputies to govern.
No, but if he doesn't do a deal with them, and he cannot do other than accept their votes are as good as anybody else's.
Of course they are. And
it's democracy.
And are you telling me that they will support a minority Fianna Fáil-led government without demanding a price
but if
and dictating direction?
We will go into opposition if they do. We will go into opposition.
I think they will go into opposition anyway. But let's deal with this question. Let's deal with this question. The question here is, if you look at Gareth Fitzgerald's article on Saturday, where he took the most unpropitious poll from the point of view of the opposition parties after the Bertiegate financial business, and he put figures on them, that would give Fianna Fáil somewhere between 69 and 71 seats, say 70 seats. What will the PDs come back with?
I think
2 or 3?
the Sunday Tribune said a few more than that, Pat.
Yes, but there isn't the remotest prospect.
Gareth Fitzgerald isn't an objective analysis.
He's at least as objective as the analysis below him on the page. The fact of the matter is that that's not within a horse's roar of an overall majority. In those circumstances, Mr Ahern has opened the door to being reliant on Sinn Féin for the conduct of government thereafter.
No.
But you could save his bacon, Pat, because you'd have the numbers.
Of course I could,
you have the numbers with Fianna Fáil. No, you didn't say you won't. You said I have no intention of going into government. But you might have no intention now. But when the figures came in, you'd be placed with an awful dilemma. Would you do the statesmanlike thing and save the country from Sinn Féin by adding Labour's votes to Fianna Fáil?
Well, that's a very, very plausible argument, John.
That's what the figures will be.
And thank you very much for reminding me of it. But I have made patently clear that it is my purpose not to replace just one of the parties in government at the moment, but to replace both of them.
But that's your purpose.
I accept that that's your purpose out there.
But if it didn't happen, what would your choices be?
There are a great many people out there who want a government that will address and tackle the issues that this government over 10 years have neglected.
Yes, but if it didn't happen, Pat,
and they are now trying to say
that
they are going to do in 10 weeks what they didn't do in 10 years.
Pat, every week in
there are so many people out there who get up at 6:30 in the morning to pay their taxes, to commute long distances to work, who are concerned about affordable housing, who are concerned about childcare,
but you're not answering my question.
Who are concerned about the hospital service,
it's an awful
who
question.
are worried about rising prices and rising mortgages.
But you haven't answered it. The question is, if that didn't work,
ask me the question.
The question is
I'll ask you a question. Can I ask him a question?
I'm the chairman here. I think it's the same question.
Every week in the Dáil, Pat, when you or Fine Gael have a private member's motion, you don't say to Sinn Féin when they go through the lobby supporting you, we won't take your vote.
He hasn't answered the central question.
I can't answer all these questions together, John.
You still haven't answered. No, you want to Dermot. It's a much easier one than what I'm asking you. That's the reason you want it.
When Dermot goes into opposition, he thinks that he might be offered a job like yours. So give him some experience. Dermot, I want to answer the question. Of course, that's a perfectly reasonable point, that no prospective Taoiseach could refuse somebody who wants to vote for him. That isn't the point. The net point is that what happens the day after the vote?
Exactly,
and the month after
exactly
the vote,
as happened
you
in
are
1997.
You are for God's sake, they were Fianna Fáil independent.
No, they weren't.
They were the gene pool.
No deal.
They were the gene pool.
That's easy stuff, Pat.
It's very easy stuff. Why do you think I'm dealing with it? Of course it's easy.
Yeah, but let me ask you the hard question, Pat. If the electorate does not return either coalition...
You failed the interlocutor test, Dermot. You failed the interlocutor test.
Try. If the electorate does not return either coalition, and Fianna Fáil and Labour have the numbers, would you accept the democratic will of the Labour Party at conference, which is what will happen, to join Fianna Fáil in government?
It will not happen.
No, that's not the goal. It could happen. It's called democracy.
Hold on. If you think for one moment that a Labour Party conference is going to rush to defeat a recommendation from the leader of the Labour Party to put Fianna Fáil back in government, you are living in cloud cuckoo land.
If they did, would you lead the Labour Party still, or would you resign?
Because
yet another party.
I am the one who is in touch with the heart of the Labour Party.
No, you're saying it couldn't happen. But
I got 80%.
You did 80%. That's true.
It is true.
But after the election, if that were to fail, all bets are off. You got 80% to try a run with Fine Gael.
It is a matter for the leader to put a recommendation to conference.
Yes.
And I will put a recommendation to conference if the situation arises that is entirely consistent with my position, which is that I will not put Fianna Fáil back in government. Now, is there any aspect of that you don't understand?
So you would... some other Labour Party leader could put Fianna Fáil back in government?
There's only one Labour Party leader, John.
No, but you would resign if you didn't have the numbers. That's my question.
It doesn't arise.
It might arise.
It doesn't arise.
It could arise, theoretically.
I will give leadership. I will put a motion to my annual conference if that situation arises, and I have no doubt but that I am closer to the heart of the rank and file of the party than any other point of view. 80% supported me. They will continue to support me. The proposition that they will remove the leader in order to govern with a government that we've been opposing for the last 5 years is peacock.
There's a lot of voices in the Labour Party. John Mulvihill was out this week.
John Mulvihill is the strongest supporter, and the television pictures
he's worried about Fine Gael,
there to show it. He is the strongest supporter of the electoral strategy that I set out.
I have to ask Danny Byrne, who asked this question.
The purpose is panic in the Mullingar Accord.
It is time to get rid of a clapped-out government who have had 10 years to fix the things that are broken.
You're panicking.
They didn't do it. We have hospitals crisis. We have a hospitals crisis. We have an affordable housing crisis. We have rising prices. We have mortgages at risk. And it's time they got a rest.
Yeah. Danny Byrne.
Yeah, thanks. I thought I was coming to a very serious show, but I think it looks a bit like Podge and Raj with Pat Rabbitte and Dermot Ahern there. But my view of it will...